So today is a pretty cold day in March. It's March 27th, and figured it'd be a good time to take a little trip to take care of something that I usually have a hard time scheduling time to do. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna take a little trip, and I'm gonna give you some hints along the way. But first, we gotta get out of Philly. It's always fun getting out of Philly. So we're on 95 North, headed to the Betsy Ross Bridge. Got this BMW flying up on me. It's about to brake right over the double light. Just dumb because all this traffic's coming back. He's gonna, there you go. So, you know, you'd never know that they just widened this road because, you know, I mean, people drive back crazy anyway, but part of Philly's problem, New York's problem, Baltimore's problem, I mean, pretty much all the major cities. The issue is that there's just not enough roadway infrastructure. So a lot of what you see is there are issues caused by poor driving, but it's exacerbated by the fact that if there's not enough roadway, your traffic's going to back up, people get frustrated, start acting crazy. And it does cause a more, in New York we say assertive, most people say aggressive,
it's assertive because there are people who just really don't get it, in the sense that driving is a give and take, but if you don't do what you're supposed to do with your vehicle, you're going to be taken advantage of. So in that sense, you have to be assertive, right? Not aggressive. The problem is that people confuse the two. You put a signal on to change lanes, you don't go into the lane. That would be aggressive. You look first, make sure you make the move, and then you actually make the move. That's being assertive, and that's fine. And you're supposed to do that. What ends up happening is that we've got so much.
There's a lane closure ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. There's so much poor driving that it all sort of boils down to being probably more aggressive. But if you drive lazy, that's going to be the result of that. So issues on both sides, but for my money, the problem is more that we've got people that are just garbage drivers, and they don't understand that if everybody does their part, we can keep traffic moving. And yeah, that's what's going on. So Betsy Ross Bridge, pretty much out of the craziness right now. But who knows? I got like an hour drive here. We'll see what happens.
Welcome to New Jersey. Not for nothing, but I'd get that Raptor if it came in a manual. I don't get it, but you know, I've got a Badlands, the manual and the Sport Tune, and this is good. This is good, and it does turn the 2.3s into a much more capable vehicle, in my opinion. But you know, it's a $20,000 price difference. The performance tune is like $800, something like that. You'll actually have, if you use your Bronco points, or Ford Pass points, whatever it's called, it'll cut that down significantly if you don't use it for anything else. And as much as it makes this Badlands a much better vehicle, and something you folks with Badlands, if you haven't added back in sports mode using Forescan, if you haven't done that and you have the performance tune, you're missing out.
Normal's better. Normal's definitely better. The engine mapping is light. The default engine mapping should be what the performance tune is. Let's put it like that. But for whatever reason, on the Badlands, we don't normally have sports mode. So a lot of people use Forescan to add it back in. And it's absolutely worth it. And Forescan, you have to register, but it's free, I think, for 3 months or something like that. And then you have to pay for it, or redo your account. Do all the changes you're going to do in Forescan, add back in sports mode, turn off that stupid door chime when you leave your keys in, or you get out when the car is on. It does that stupid honk at you, attract everybody in the dead to you when you do that. Turn that crap off. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 other things you may want to do. Those are the 2 things I did, as I recall. And yeah, it'll truly make any 2.3 much better. 2.7 people I've heard are happy with theirs, but let's face it, the name of the game these days with car manufacturers, they want to get rid of the V8s and the larger engines and stuff like that. So you're going to smaller engines with single or dual turbos, like the Ford Bronco Raptor, same engine in the Explorer ST. It's good. It's good. I've been in both. So, if, like I said, if they made it in a manual, I'd probably do it. It's a significant price premium, but if you're a performance-minded person, and I am, as much as I'm into the off-roading, but yeah, that's where it should be in terms of just the engine. A lot of people talk about the Bronco Raptor being, just in terms of its built for off-roading, being a much more superior vehicle, and I get that too. I haven't felt that yet. I'm also not doing super serious rock crawling either, where I'm worried about certain things, but for the engine, yeah, absolutely. This Dunkin' Donuts here on the left. So often when I do go off-roading, I'm on 70 East. So this is the 206 roundabout. But a lot of times I'll start my off-roading by grabbing some coffee at that Dunkin' Donuts. And when you're here, when you're at that Dunkin' Donuts, so this is again 70 and 206, this is sort of the border between the, I guess, I'm going to say the lower part of the Pine Barrens and the upper part. So this is Wharton on the right side and Brendan T sort of on the left. You see the, Pine Barrens sign right there. It's not 100% that accurate, but 70 is sort of the, I would say, the north-south border. So if you don't know what you want to do, or if you have a group of people, it's good to, that's like a good meetup spot, because you can really pick and choose what you want to do. Wharton is pretty easygoing stuff. Not that, again, I said this in other videos, you can pick and choose what you want to do in the Pine Barrens. You can have a nice easy day, or you can do things that are significantly more difficult, especially if you're out after it's rained. But just want to point that out. That's a good meetup place. 70 and 206 Dunkin' Donuts. We are going to be going down 72 East. And maybe that'll give you a clue where I'm headed. Gotta love Jersey for these roundabouts. Still have a couple of them. Making his move. Oh no, gee, I can't read. It's Chevy. Okay. So, yep. Another guy making his move. We're still on 72. And to give you another hint, that's the Garden State Parkway that we're crossing under now. Figure it out yet? Okay, last hint, and you probably all got it at this point. So, Manahawkin Bay, all right, going over that.
Okay, so those of you who guessed Long Beach Island and 4x4 tags for Long Beach Island. you would be correct. Got the tags, not a problem, and it's not even 4 yet, so I think what I'm going to do, because I didn't actually prepare for this as well as I should have, is I'm going to go ahead and get some fuel, and we're going to take a gander down to the end of the southernmost point of Long Beach Island, because it is off season, so you're allowed on the beach now, and we're going to see what we can see while we still have some daylight. I gotta get some gas though, so first things first. Okay, we have arrived. And look at that. I think it is closed. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna get out and take a walk anyway. Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Get the last slot. Check this guy out. I'm just gonna sit on top of a Mazda. I'm that type of duck. Actually, it's not a duck. I don't know what that is. Not a bird person. Meaning I don't know birds. I like birds, just don't know them. So it looks like I'm not the only one confused about why Holgate is closed off here, but as they say in the little sort of handout they give you, you know, anything can be closed at any time due to beach conditions. So we're gonna take a ride. As soon as this woman parks. We're gonna go up to the Nelson Avenue entrance and see if that's closed off, and hopefully it isn't. It's nice, like I said, to be on the beach when like nobody's around. It's 54 degrees down here, or over here, and there were a few people out there. But obviously you can't be on the beach during the regular season, which in Long Beach is, I think it's at 5/15. So May 15th, there's no more 4x4 access. So basically you have, because the permits go calendar year, you have from January to May 15th, and then you have from October 1st to the end of the year, and then you have to get a new permit. It's pretty much the way they all work. But I was hoping to get a little bit of time today, so we'll see what happens up here at Nelson, and if not, it's almost 5. I'm probably gonna head home. Okay, yeah, this is it, definitely.
Looks weird, only because there is a bench right there, and let's see. Let me switch to 4-wheel high. Okay. Look at this view. Look at this view. So in case you're wondering, no, I did not air down. Yes, I know. You should. And the reason why I'm not is because, one, I'm being lazy. Two, I'm not going to be here that long. Three, I found that you often do not have to air down when you use the sand mode in the Bronco. And I just switched to the sand mode. Smooth sailing. Let's get these windows down. See, that's what you don't want. Start sinking down. So I am going to turn around and get on out of here because it's a little too soft. It's a little too soft. And I'm working the transmission. I can actually feel it. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more. Yep. So get back in the existing tracks because that's going to be packed already. And now we know. Okay, so there you have it. That was a little sketchy. I'm not even gonna lie. It's definitely always there now. But we made it back. Bronco's fine, and now I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'll know what entrance to use next time. Just gonna show this right here. No dogs from this point. Beach haven permit required. Yep. So we're good to go. And we'll see. We'll see how this works out for this year. I think you guys know I've got brigantine permits and or permit, and been very happy with that. The if someone's wondering like why get another tag, right? Long Beach is further. This beach is further away, and it's not necessarily something I would just run out and do, if that makes sense. Brigantine is 45, 50 minutes away. I can literally, throw everything in the car, be there in that short amount of time. And it's a direct route. This is further out the way, but it's a little bit different. You get closer to the nature preserve, which is at the southern part, which is what was closed today, Holgate. And if you're in Brigantine, the northern part of Brigantine, which is controlled by the state now, is also a preserve, and that's actually a different permit. Here in Long Beach, it's not a different permit. Okay, it's just a matter of whether they're allowing people on the beach on any given day, right? Within that window. So this is sort of a trial and error, just to see how I like it. I probably come here maybe a handful of times during the season, and when I say during the season, I mean like the summer season. So let's call it Memorial Day through Labor Day, and it's just to see something scenic, walk the beach, chill out in the Bronco. Nothing serious. It's not, I'm not gonna say, it's needed, if you will. So I figured, well, we'll give it a try because I was interested in the nature preserve, and some other people have recommended it, But the other thing, and perhaps more important, I don't like being forced to fish for these permits, and a number of these, at least on the East Coast, a number of these permits for these different beach communities requires you to be out there fishing. I've got nothing against fishing. I enjoy fishing. I haven't done it in quite a long time, but I enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't like being told to do something that really is unnecessary. If you just want to hang out on the beach for whatever reason, and yes, this is a privilege, not a right, I get that, but the money raised for these permits goes to conservation and protecting the beaches and the wildlife areas. At least it should. There's so let's just say there are people who say that's not the case. There are people who say that maybe this needs to be looked at, but I don't know enough about the political aspect of this, but certainly it should be going towards the upkeep of the beaches and the dunes, just the beach health. Beach erosion is a real problem, and we need these environments. So I don't think that you should be forced to fish as a condition of that. All right. So anyway, that was today's trip, and if you stuck with me for this long, appreciate it, and I'll see you again.